Inverse variation. So we discussed the topic already. Two quantities, let us say x and y. Two quantities, x and y, are said to be in inverse variation if an increase in x causes corresponding decrease in y. If the increase in x quantity, then y quantity must be decreased. Again, if it is decreasing in this, y quantity must be increased. So it's reverse. Decrease in y and decrease in x causes corresponding decrease in y. So if x and y are in inverse proportion, right? So let us take an example and I'll show the method. And men, number of days to complete the work. Let us take these two examples. Yeah, in example, two quantities. Men and number of days to complete work. Let us take to complete work. Number of days they'll take to complete work. For example, 8 members, 8 men can do the work in 4 days. Let's take 8 men can do the work in 4 days. Instead of 8 men, if I take only 4 men, 8 members, they do work in 4 days. Within 4 days, they complete the work. But only 4 members I sent. So they must take double the days, right? So 8 should be, right? Only 4 member. 8 members can do 4 days. And if it's 4 member, there must be 8 days. Okay, instead of 4, if I take only 2 members, how many days they'll take? Let us see. 4 persons only 8 days they'll do. Only 2 members if I send, double this. So 16 days they'll take. Right. This is the method. So when one quantity is increasing, other quantity is decreased. Now 8 to 4 is decreased. Then 4 to 8 is increased. Same way. 4 to 2 decreased and 8 to 16 is increased. And if you notice this both, let us say this is the quantity x and second one is y. 8 into 4, 4 into 8, 2 into 16, you're getting same number. X into y. Here if you observe from this both examples, 8 and 4. 8 into 4 exactly equals to 4 into 8 is equals to 2 into 16. First quantity and second quantity if you multiply, getting same number. 8 4 is a 32. Same 32. 16 2 is a 32, right? So x into y is equals to constant. In this first quantity and second quantity, the product is constant always for inverse variation. Right. Let us see the example now. Remember, first one into second quantities always remain same. Now, if for example, if the only one man, how many days they can do it? In case if x days. So first one into second one, that means it should be equals to again 1 into x. That is equal to x. Must be 32. So 32 days they will take only one person. Right. Let us see with other example. Let me take the question. If 78 men can do work in 140 days. In 140 days, 78 men can do the work. Right. In how many days? How many days? Let x days. In how many days will 42 men can do the work? Is the question. In how many days? I'm taking as x days. So 42 men can do the work in x days. This is about inverse variation, because from the question we need to understand this direct or inverse. If one quantity is decreased, other quantity is increasing here. Men is reduced. So surely number of days will take more to do the work, right? So it's inverse variation. So if you make the table, number of men and number of days. Number of men and number of days. Let us see this. First one, second one. Here is number of men, 78 men. They're taking 140 days. And 42 men is, let be x days. Always first one is quantity. This is x and y quantity. No? So x into y is constant in this. x into y is equals to constant. So because of since it's inverse, it is inverse case, inverse variation. So therefore 78 inverse, no, so xy is equals to constant. First one into second quantity if you multiply should be equal. Therefore 78 into 140 is exactly equals to 42 into x. Right. This is from this statement you can find out x value. Then x is equals to 78 into 140 by 42. 42 is multiplying. Take this side, divide. Yes, this is simplify. You'll get 260. So 140. That means 42 men can do the work in 260 days. Okay, this is number of days. Right? 42 men will do the same work in 260 days. So simple thing, whenever the question is based on inverse variation, when quantity is reduced, this is increased, right? And this must be decreased. 78 to 140 is increased here. So men, okay, same ratio you can take, constant. Men here is 78 to 42 is decreased. So this must be increased. Just observe the quantities and you can make this. So this is about the inverse variation. Based on these two, let me explain clearly about the using a unitary method and arrow method in this.